Warning, this podcast contains Batman.
No?
No. Close enough, The Fog. It's the
They
same
made
thing.
jokes towards Batman.
They did.
What's up, everyone, and welcome to the ASOTVpodcast for iZombie Season 2. I still can't believe we're in Season 2. Episode 9, Cape Town. Get it? Cape? Huh? I'm your host, with me, my co-host, Nikki.
Hi. And that was only the first of all the fucking puns during this gosh darn freaking episode.
I mean,
I was sitting in my chair cringing, trying not to vomit all over my screen.
I saw your post
because
on
there's
Facebook.
so many
You're like,
puns.
it started
So
before the
nice.
episode started with the puns.
It did.
And down
With
below,
the title.
down below is my co-host, Kim, after dealing with Nikki's 2-hour rant.
About puns.
Mm-hmm.
because usually I'm ranting because there are no puns.
Yeah. So, yeah. Would you ladies think of this show, this episode?
Kim can go, because I already kind of said what I felt.
Like there were some moments that I was really like I actually liked the episode, but then like towards the middle it kind of started to get I'm like, okay, I guess I'm like, the beginning started out nice and then it just kind of went down and then it was like,
What do you mean the beginning started out nice? It started out with a huge fight between Major and Liv.
That was
No,
exciting.
yeah, that was exciting.
It was
okay?
exciting, but that didn't start out on a good note.
No, what I meant
they
by
didn't. The
good
show.
was that it was like the show itself. It started out exciting, and then I liked the a few moments. Ravi's always awesome, in his horribleness.
Oh god, Ravi is my absolute favorite. I don't care, like, I complain about the puns, but Ravi is amazing. His like execution is just spot
Yes.
on. Like he could tell me the mother of all puns, and I wouldn't. If he were there giving it like face to face, I'd be like, oh.
Yes, Ravi is amazing. He literally, he is by far like my favorite character.
Mhm.
Period.
Blaine
And-
is a close second.
Yeah, Blaine's a close second.
It's really weird because every time I see David Andrews in a show, and we've talked about this many times, I just get mad, right? Because he's in literally everything. So, like, I love David Andrews, don't get me wrong, but I just get mad when I see him because he's everywhere. And it's like I can't get away from him because every show I watch, here comes David Andrews strolling his way through. So it's just like, he was in Heroes. He was the only thing that I think I really watched, loved, and he had no part in was Lost. So, but he was in Heroes. He was in Arrow. He was in Once Upon a Time. He's been in everything. So when I see him, my first instinct is not like, oh my god, I love you, David Anders. It's get the fuck out of my show, So,
Stop being in everything.
but I do love the character Blaine. I love it, and David Anders is a great actor. I love David Anders, but it's just a gut instinct reaction when I see him.
He's so versatile, and he can play almost any role, even though most of his roles are douchebags.
Yeah.
Or at least people that have a lot of sass. So,
He's what I would consider like the Sean Bean of TV shows. Not in the way that Sean
does he
Bean dies
die
in almost
every
every
show?
movie that he's in.
Like, wait a minute.
But that's kind of what happens with David Anders. Like his character dies a lot in his TV shows as well. Spoilers, but I don't know. It's just he's in like everything in the way Sean Bean's in like everything. So, I don't know. But
I get where you're going with that.
yeah.
There's other actors that, technically you'd say like Mark Shepard isn't like fucking everything.
Yeah.
He was for a good amount of time in a lot of things, but now, not recently at all. Yep.
Yeah. So Blaine comes barging into the morgue at one point in this episode. He brings one of Mr. Boss's henchmen in and was like, you got to do something with this guy because he's the only one that knows about the untainted utopium. So if he dies, you're a SOL. And Ravi's like, you kind of have to turn him into a zombie, Liv.
You could tell, like, even without the carpenter slash vigilante's brains, her stomach was turning.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did. She definitely did not want to do that. And I didn't think about it at the time, but I thought about it later towards the end of the episode where he's actually with Mr. Boss. Did Blaine do this kind of on purpose? Did this just accidentally? It kind of fell into his hands. But at the same time, he just put a henchman in Mr. Boss.
Yeah, I don't know. So Liv goes through with it. She turns the guy into a zombie. At that point, Ravi mentions it's 15 minutes till shift change. How are we going to explain this? Blaine's just like, no. He zips him back up. He goes, yeah, lay down. The guy just like woke up from being dead, and he's just like, all right, I'll lay down.
He was
right?
like, whatever.
He just went with it.
People act differently in shock, because he was definitely in shock.
That's true.
Everybody's different. So he was probably just like, kind of still on, like, I could say he was kind of still unprogrammed. So when Blaine said lay back down, it was just natural just to be like, okay.
Yeah, I guess. He just like zips him back into the body bag. It's like, who would agree to this without like putting up a fight? Like, if I woke up from like after I was shot or whatever the case, I think he was shot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if I get shot and I wake up, the first thing I'm gonna do is be like, what? I'm gonna freak out because I thought I was dead, and now this guy is just like, hi, lady. Okay.
He did
Zip me
seem
up.
just kind of
He took the whole zombie thing very well.
He
Yeah,
did.
he did.
I don't know if he took it well or if he was just kind of brain dead in the first place. Because he didn't seem too intelligent, if you ask me.
Yeah. There's a bit of that. But
He's a lackey.
the important part of the scenes to me was Ravi mentioning the shift change. I was under the impression that the whole time that Ravi and Liv were the only two people that worked in this morgue.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is the first time we heard anything, and I'm like, oh wait, they're not the only ones. Okay.
So I want to see these people. I want to find out who's on the other end of the shift. Like, this is important information that I need to know. Like, because you have more coworkers than just Ravi, right? What about all those times that like people deal with in office settings where like people steal your food, right? These people, what if they steal Liv's food? Like, this is gonna be terrible. Like, some of this needs to like come into the light. They need to play into some of this stuff.
Well, I mean, it is like they are day shift, and I'm pretty sure these people are like night shift or something. So, I mean...
Yeah, but there's got to be a third shift at least. Like, there's no way that the two shifts are working 12-hour days. There's no way.
It's plausible.
I mean, in a medical field, that's very... Even in a morgue, that is very, very common.
In more like a emergency room setting, but not so much in like a typical doctor's office. Maybe a morgue. I don't know. I don't have any experience knowing or working in a morgue, knowing anyone who works in a morgue, to be honest. But 12 hours still seems like a really long shift to me.
A lot of jobs do that. I mean, the 12-hour shifts are nice. I mean, you work 4 days on, 3 days off, or was it
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
It's possible. So it still means that there's more than just two groups, though. If the 2 days on, 3 days off, whatever, 3 days on, 2 days off, whatever the case is, there's got to be more than one other group of, people.
There has to be at least like two or three.
Yeah.
The sad thing is, we might not see these people for another couple seasons.
We might not, and I want to, because Liv and Ravi have a great dynamic, but you can't tell me that they're always going to be scheduled to work together. Like, Liv's got to be able to work with one of these other groups at some point. I don't know any group that pairs the same two people together indefinitely on the work schedule.
Robbie kind of runs the morgue, so he could probably make the schedules.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I think he's the boss. I think all these other guys are the who's under him.
Yeah, I still want to see more of these people. I think there's a lot more they could do off of it, so I'd be interested in seeing that. But yeah, this whole episode really kind of focused. It started with the superhero, the fog, and going through that, and apparently he was a vigilante that worked with the police. Right? The police knew. I shouldn't say worked with him, but the police knew of him and were okay with it, which every time you hear the word vigilante and you watch a show like Arrow,
Yeah.
or Batman or anything like that, like the vigilante and the police typically do not get along. And the police are like, that's illegal, no vigilantes, they're hunting the vigilante. This
The
one, the cops are
difference-
just like, we know about him, he's alright.
The differences between Batman and these vigilantes are that these ones are almost useless. They are,
They're carrying chloroform, though.
yeah, I mean,
At least he was. The others kind of seemed really like horrible.
How do you just get
Hashtag-
your hands on chloroform?
hashtag.
Yeah, hashtag, and what was some of the other ones? I don't even remember. That one was an old man, wasn't it?
Blue Canary. I was like, come on. Seriously?
Well, that was definitely a ripoff of the DC, White Canary, Black Canary.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
I know. That's why I rolled my eyes. I was like, this is
Blue
dumb.
Canary, Yellow Cardinal. I don't know. Just keep making birds up.
Birds' names is colored.
Pigeon.
Purple Sparrow.
Orange pigeon. That's a good one.
Yeah. So
Very cute.
I don't know, like Major and Liv get in this fight like right at the beginning of the episode, and they're still dealing with the backlash of last week, where they had Liv was on the stalker brains.
Mm-hmm.
So they're dealing with the fight, and she's like, or how do I word it? Like Major says, I don't know which one is you, which one is the brain. And Liv is like, well, how do you think I feel? Like, how do you think it feels to have those thoughts in your brain where you can't determine if it's the brain or if it's your own thoughts? So they go into this big spat over it, which gets interrupted by Ravi.
Right, like the 340 something time or something.
Yeah,
There was it was a really
Robbie.
yeah, it was an arbitrary huge number.
Yeah. He was very tired.
Yeah.
You can tell that they kept him up all night. So.
Fighting
But-
over a situation that she created.
Right,
Yep.
exactly. Like, we know it was her fault. Major knows it was her fault. She kind of knows it's her fault, but she has her fallback on the brains, and I don't blame her because the brains have bad side effects on her. So that's not her doing that. That's the brains, which puts Major in a really tough predicament because he's got to be understanding and all this stuff. And we see Major go and do, like he goes hunting. He finds a zombie girl at the bar and he tracks her back home. He sneaks into her house, like walks over her bed on the way in. And she's about to commit suicide. And
Surprise.
instead of letting her go through with it and completing his mission, he stops her.
Well, he knows that Robbie's making a cure. That's always in the back of his head. He doesn't want them to die. He doesn't want to kill them. He wants to put them in, like, his stasis kind of thing that he's been doing. And then when the cure is ready, cure them.
Right. So he like talks her down off a ledge, and if Major and Liv, still weren't involved, I see some sparks flying between these two. There's some definite chemistry here.
Oh, yeah. I almost thought he was going to do something. But
He didn't. I mean, he opens up to her, and basically, she called him the boogeyman.
mhm.
Yes, apparently he has a nickname in the zombie world.
Yeah, it's really funny that the zombie circle has a nickname for him. But he gets a nice heart-to-heart talk with her, and she kind of gives him an insight on the brains and what it's like, to be on it. And that's when Major, I think, kind of realizes that it's not just Liv, it's all of them. And this is something he's got to be more understanding towards. And it seems like this insightful bit of information is something that's going to help him in the long run. But when he ends up talking to Liv later, it blows up in his face.
That's
'Cause
just
he
Liv
didn't-
being...
Liv.
Liv, come on now. She's like, it's not that we're not having sex or anything, but we're not having sex, so we're not good together. That's what
that
I
was
got
part of
from
it.
that.
She just
whole-
wants
That
the
was
D.
that was part of that conversation.
Yeah.
But in the long run, it's the not just can he. I mean, he can't. He can't. Yeah, obviously having issues. He can't accept. Not that he can't accept. He's not ready to deal with her changing personalities every 2 seconds. I mean, you gotta think of the process. It's kind of like she's a schizo.
Yeah.
And
But he's willing to work on that because, he knows that, like Dom said, it's not just her, it's all the zombies, and he loves her. So he's going to work through it, and he knows that in the end, Ravi's going to fix things.
Mm-hmm.
So if he can tough it out, they're going to be stronger in the end.
Right.
yeah, well,
But
this is where
Liv
the problem
wants...
lies.
Yeah,
Liv wants Splitsville.
she does.
Well, that he's still just learning this, so he's still going to revert back to the old way of thinking, and that's what he did a couple times during that conversation, and that's what made her kind of go, never mind. And the problem is with Liv is that she doesn't believe in the cure. She doesn't believe it's going to happen.
She has.
I think she
I don't know.
believes she has confidence in Ravi that he can do this. It's just that the fact that they don't have the tainted utopium to work with right now, and she wants it fixed at this moment because she thinks that in order to have an intimate relationship with Major, she has to be a human again.
Right. Which may not exactly be the case. We find out at the very, very end of the episode that Ravi's still doing some testing, and it turns out that the rat that he originally cured has reverted back to being a zombie. In other words, the cure is only temporary, yes. Which means both Major and Blaine have the potential to turn back at any time.
So that was the thought process. So how long is it going to be before we see them both change? And obviously that's going to change a lot, especially between Major and Liv. Being that whole conversation right there was the reason we can't be together is because we're not in the same species. They're not the same.
She said race,
world.
didn't she? She said race.
She said race.
I was like, what are you... Liv, stop it. You don't want to bring that. Stop it. That's controversial.
And I
You
was
do
just like,
not
oh,
want to start that shit.
Yeah, it was. It couldn't have
Exactly.
been like the same world or any other wording. It could have been used.
Dom's face is like completely descriptive of the feeling that you shouldn't have said that kind of thing.
Liv, what are you doing? Yeah.
But I mean, they're gonna be zombies both again. So
Eventually.
I mean,
Maybe.
well, yeah, eventually. But
We don't know for sure, because
You're right, we don't.
rats and humans are different.
Yeah, like rats, their heart beats a lot faster. Their body's moving, like the metabolism is much higher. So, like, whatever a rat takes 5 months, whereas a human might take 2 years.
Yeah, and I mean it's you can draw a pretty plausible outcome of this is yes, they will revert back, but that's not 100% guaranteed.
No.
I'd say it's about a 90% chance that it's going to happen, but it's
We don't know
impossible
how long it's gonna take.
to.
We don't know any of that stuff. Yeah, but it's just in the case of right now where Major is, obviously he's still doing all of the killing thing.
Yeah.
Or well, supposedly killing things.
To be honest,
So-
I think Major's going to turn back before Blaine, even though Blaine got the cure first.
100% possible. And if he does, it's all open. Like him and Liv can totally get back together. Everything will be all right.
I think he's gonna resent it. Remember, she's the one who turned him.
Probably, but it depends on how heartbroken he is over this too.
There's
how much
that,
time
and
has
to be
gone
honest,
by.
I mean, if Liv doesn't want to stick through it, then she doesn't deserve Major. He was willing to make the changes and take the step forward, and she was like, no.
Where's Minor?
I don't know. I miss him.
He's so
Cute little
cute.
slubbly face.
I love the name pairing,
We haven't
Major
seen
and
the
Minor.
dog in forever.
Love ears.
Yeah, Minor was last week, wasn't he?
No.
No?
I don't remember seeing him.
I thought he was very briefly in, or mentioned at least. I don't know. If it wasn't last week, it was definitely the week before that. So it's only been 2 or 3 episodes. But yeah, I miss Minor. But this is not the only partner that Liv has lost this episode. Clive decides that her excessive superhero vigilante police work behavior got her in enough trouble, and she's not a policewoman. She should not be acting like one. And Clive is like, I shouldn't have you be doing this kind of stuff. You know, I brought you into this world that you should not be a part of. And that kind of brings up this question, like, if Liv can't do good with her zombie-ness, like, that's her lot in life. That's where she feels like she can make up for being a zombie. Like, she can help people. If she doesn't have this, if she can't help people, what does that mean for Liv? What is that going to turn her into?
We know Liv. It's not going to stop her. She can either continue to bug Clive, or she's going to go out and do shit on her own. She's still in the morgue. She's still eating brain.
There's that, and it's gonna, like, Clive is still working on the cases that she's, eating, and she's gonna have the inside information. He's gonna need her, and he's gonna be like he's gonna go crawling back to her. And if that's not the case, she's gonna go help Blaine. She's gonna actually help Blaine.
That would be really
because she wants to take down Rager so bad, and
see, I think
that's gonna open up a whole new can of worms.
I think with some more time in her hands, where she may not be hands-on on some of these cases, that's gonna lead her to try to focus on the cure a little bit more with Ravi. Lead to some more testing and maybe, get something advanced, out faster, because she's going to be focusing all her attention on that.
And that leads to helping with Blaine.
Yeah. I mean, all she has to do is eat like a scientist's brain, and she'll figure it out.
Just eat Ravi.
No, Ravi.
If Ravi can't figure it out with his own brain, Liv's not going to figure it out with Ravi's brain.
Just need a new pair of eyes,
This going on around.
Don't
you know how people say, take a rest and new set of eyes on the project.
Yeah, not literally.
Literally.
No. But, yeah. Was there anything else for this episode?
We didn't see any Peyton or Cuntface.
Or who?
The redheaded bitch.
Oh, her roommate.
I said a bad word, but you know what? She deserves it.
It's not good. I said the bad word.
Rita?
Bad word too. Yeah, that bitch.
Rita. Yeah, that's the bad word. Rita.
The redheaded bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, there's no Peyton. I still want to see the Peyton Blaine, love interest go somewhere.
Oh yeah, I do. I know you're giving it face, but I wanted to see something happen there. I think it would be funny.
Yeah.
Especially if he reverts back to being a zombie.
Mm-hmm.
What if Peyton gets turned into a zombie?
Right in the middle.
Hilarious.
Everybody's just gonna be fucking zombies then.
So I said, everybody. Like, every time a new character is introduced on the show, you're automatically suspicious. You're going, is he a zombie? Is she a zombie? Like, I think everybody on the show is zombies. Everyone.
Except for Clive.
I still think Clive's a zombie.
Robbie's not a zombie.
No.
Rob zombie?
Robbie.
Robbie zombie?
Robbie zombie. Oh, wait. I just thought of this, because I thought it was when they opened the freezer thing, and Blaine has not said anything about his dad.
No.
No, he doesn't care.
Obviously, there was no love lost there at all. It's like, whatever, fuck you. Good, he's gone. Yay, he's an ass. But he said nothing. There's nothing said about him whatsoever. He's like, oh, he's gone. Oop. Fuck, I killed my grandfather. That sucks.
Yeah, that was actually really, really, really rough to watch, to be honest. Because you see this, he hard ass, he's been a pain in your butt the whole time you're watching, and then this one touching moment, you're like, he actually loves somebody. Oh my goodness. And then he pillows him. It's like,
Then he finds out he didn't have to do it, and he's like,
yep.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Did he make his dad eat his grandpa's brains?
I think he did.
He was going to.
Oh.
He's going to. Well, that's when his dad disappeared. That's the reason he killed his grandfather, was so that he could eat his brain so he could feed it to his father. So
Yeah,
his father
that's right.
would have to deal with all the pain. And in the middle of he killed the grandfather, ready to cut the brain out, and then found out that his dad disappeared. And it was just like this whole big string of shit.
Yeah,
It was
and
like
Major has him supposedly.
Yeah.
Right. So,
Okay.
when we come back from our little winter break, it will be January 12th, 1 week before Flash and Arrow come back. The episode is called Method Head. And this one is kind of a meta episode. Liv and Clive's new case. Liv and Clive. So, they're already working together. We're already,
He came crawling back.
Yeah.
He's your insider info.
Takes them to a set of a zombie television series.
Great.
The
This is gonna be hilarious.
The series is called Zombie High, and is described by Ravi as mental pork rinds, which may be one of the top 10 analogies, if I could speak correctly, the top 10 analogies of all time. So.
Can we say that like most of the shows we cover are mental pork rinds? 'Cause
Probably.
we just can't stop watching them and talking about them all the damn time.
But I saw the preview for this episode, and it is great. The zombies that are on the show look like they're straight out of like The Walking Dead. Like they're all makeup like that style zombie. Like, the rotting faces. And they're sitting at like a buffet table, like scooping their food on a plate like during their break, when Clive comes in and starts questioning them or whatever. It's really, really funny. So like it looks like the typical portrayal of zombies versus what the real portrayal of zombies is, So I love it. I love it. Nikki does not like zombies at all, so it's gonna be interesting for her.
I still haven't watched like Daisy or Shaun of the Dead or.
You've watched The Walking Dead.
I've watched The Walking Dead, but like
how
all
can you
those.
watch The Walking Dead and not watch those?
Right?
I mean, like Shaun of the Dead's not even that bad.
I don't know, but like a lot of the show,
Walking Dead is gruesome.
like
and
World War Z. I
gross.
haven't watched that. People said that's really good, and like I just haven't gone back to watch any of that stuff because zombies.
Wow. Okay.
Well, on that note, Nikki, where can the people find you?
They can find me on Twitter at LadyVenom24, LadyYvenom24.
I want everybody to tweet her right now and give her a list of zombie movies that she needs to watch during the winter break.
I'm not gonna watch them
I
because
don't care.
nobody's forcing me to.
I will make you watch them.
No, you won't.
Yep. Kim!
Don't understand how you can. Okay. Also find me on Twitter at HUFFITY. I just don't know how you watching Walking Dead, which is just full of just like body parts flipping all over the place. You can't watch something like Shaun of the Dead, which is they're making fun of zombies, and there's nothing gruesome at all about it.
It's during the time frame where I didn't watch movies, like Shaun of the Dead came out at that point. Walking Dead is more of a recent thing,
Okay.
but I just remembered something. I didn't watch Indiana Jones last weekend. It didn't happen.
Nope.
Gah!
You can find me down below at Phenomenon, PHENOMEDOM. You can also find us all and others on Facebook, Gmail, G+, Twitter, MySpace, and right here on YouTube at /ASOTVpodcast for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows. Until January. Have a happy holiday.
Yeah, see you in the new year.
Wait,
Like I even get grossed up by Walking Dead.
I have to put up with you guys next year too?
Another year gone by and no Indiana Jones from me.
I'm gonna make you watch Indiana Jones and the Legend of the Zombie Mummy.
That doesn't exist.
That's not a thing. I was like, wait, what?
I filmed it in my backyard.